So, Samsung's new virtual assistant Sam has quickly become the darling of the VTuber community. Now, today I'd like to talk about what that means for the VTuber community going forwards. I would not call Sam a VTuber, she's more like a mascot for Samsung. However, I think it will be interesting to see where this is going. With more and more businesses and corporations taking their brand into the world of anime and that community. Also, companies such as AirAsia with a new VTuber and their push to be a part of the trend. And I think that they are only the first of many businesses and companies that are going to get into VTubing. This is interesting and I think we should talk about that. While having a VTuber as a sort of mascot for the company is a lot of very cheap marketing, it is also a giant risk. These companies are very conscious of the brand and what different things mean for the brand. So what do these companies do, really? You've got idol companies such as Kavvaii and Ichikara who like to start fresh with their VTubers. A completely clean slate, new design, and a new character. I think that is the smarter way to do it, really, because you don't have to take into consideration what they have done before. And AirAsia is also doing this. But I'm also seeing a lot of other companies who are not doing that. They are hiring already existing VTubers. This is of course exciting and interesting. Why would they do that? It is of course less work to set up. And you can start immediately. There is of course the risk of baggage when you do it like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what this develops into. I think a lot of companies are watching what's going on now and trying to figure out if it's gonna work out. And I think in the future we'll see more corporations taking advantage of this movement. This of course is going to push the community further into the mainstream and it's going to be put in front of a lot more people. And seeing how much money companies such as AirAsia is putting into the marketing of their new VTuber, I don't think it's unreasonable to expect a push from the corporate world into VTubers. Now, what does that mean for us in the community? I think that it's reasonable to assume that there's going to be an upswing in the number of VTubers. I also don't think that it would be completely unreasonable to assume that there's going to be more people watching the VTubers going forwards. The trends point in that direction. On a slightly darker note, or a very much darker note, I do unfortunately think that a good number of people are going to be taken advantage of. If you've ever heard any stories about the music industry and how they work with their contracts, where record labels will take most of the earnings and you hear about these 10-year contracts, or these 10-album contracts, where the young aspiring artists are just tossed aside. Now, this might be a bleak image that I'm painting here. And hey, that might not even happen. But I've seen enough contracts from these kind of big corporations that I know to be wary of these things. Which leads me into a warning for you all. And I cannot stress this enough. Please, 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 if you are offered up a contract by one of these companies, please read through it and understand what's being said, understand what the deal is. At least do that. Preferably, get someone who knows the law, like a lawyer or someone who has some kind of legal experience to read through it and go through it with you, so that you are 100% sure that you're not being taken advantage of. And I know that the prospect of fame and riches is something that a lot of people want. But if you're locked into a contract which you cannot get out of, and the company is taking most of your earnings, enjoying the fame is going to be a lot harder. Also, a side note, as VTubers are what they are, it could be fairly easy for the company just to toss you aside and hire someone else. So please, please, please be careful. Now, with that out of the way, I do think I'll post update videos to this one as more businesses get into this. I think I'll also do some deep dives on stream. The link to my stream is in the description. I also think that I'll do some deep dives going forwards into the idol companies such as Hololive and Nijisanji, because I think it's very interesting and fascinating. This is really all I have for now. If you liked the video, give it a like. And if you want to see more content similar to this, subscribe. And with that, I'll hopefully see you later. Goodbye.